right. Hello, everyone. Behind us is the piece of artwork we are going to be creating on our own today. I do want to apologize. I did have this ready last Friday for the younger students, but it was in my draft email. I just never sent it, and I was unaware. So I'm so sorry. Next week, I'll do better. I'll make sure I send it today. So if you didn't print this out, it's okay. I'm going to encourage you to do step by step with me, and it's going to turn out fine. This is my first time teaching this lesson, and I've been extremely impressed with all of my students' artwork, so I can't wait to see yours. So let's go ahead and jump into the artist, and I'm going to tell you all about Magritte. Rene Magritte, he is Belgium. He's from Belgium, and Magritte, he was born in 1898 and he passed away in 1967. So he was around during Andy Warhol and he was around during Salvador Dali, but he was a bit older than them. So he was an older gentleman, but he was in the same crowd during the 1960s, but mainly in France. So not so much in America, but he was alive during those time of those other artists we've talked about. Alrighty. He is considered a surrealist painter, or a modernist painter, even Dadaism, which is kind of a collage thing. He's done collages, but he doesn't consider himself a surrealist painter, even though art historians put him in that category. He was born in Belgium. He is not French. I thought he was French for a very long time, but he did a lot of artwork in France. So this is where Belgium is. It's in between Germany and France. That's what their flag looks like. It is in Europe. So I just kind of want to give you an idea of where he is from. All right, I do have this video. It is a little on the long side, but I think it's extremely valuable. So I'm going to go ahead and start playing that.
The Son of Man by Rene Magritte is said to be the artist's most famous piece, depicting the hidden face of a bowler-hatted subject obscured by a floating green apple. Each element is represented through sharp focus and visual realism. He paints poetically, somehow creating both a silence and a thundering internal dialogue in his canvases, jolting the viewers out of complacency. This piece was commissioned by Magritte's friend and patron, Harry Torchiner, who requested a self-portrait of the artist. In the correspondence between the two, however, Magritte stated that he found it difficult to paint himself, describing his difficulties as a problem of conscience. Both the apple and the bowler hat are recurring motifs within Magritte's oeuvre. He repeatedly experimented with these objects, which have since become inseparable when speaking about Magritte himself. In 1966, he said, "It is a headdress that is not original. The man with the bowler is just a middle-class man in his anonymity, and I wear it. I am not eager to singularize myself." This image in our mind is not solely a creation of his, but is Magritte himself. Magritte never thought of himself as a painter, but rather a philosopher that utilized ordinary objects to communicate his thoughts and ideas in a visual medium. He was unique amongst his peers because of the depth of his philosophical understanding. The purpose of his work was to make one think for themselves. To masterpiece, The Song of Love. It instantly moved him.
D'une manière de peindre, mais de ce qu'il faut peindre, ce qui est très différent.
This painting, which consists of oddly placed objects, opened up Magritte's eyes to the possibility of a new kind of representational painting. He described the event as one of the most moving moments of his life. My eyes saw thought for the first time. His artistic journey was not without obstacles. His very first exhibition in 1927 fell flat, but it created enough of a buzz around this new and up-and-coming artist that he decided to move to Paris. There, he spent 3 years trying to make a name for himself among the surrealists, led by André.
Who do you notice in the middle? That is a young Salvador Dali.
Breton. A few notable paintings of his time in Paris include The Lovers, The False Mirror, and The Treachery of Images. Together, these three paintings convey what was exciting about Magritte's work. He acknowledges the inherent strangeness of the material world we live in and shows us that art is a world of its own, a world of ideas to be depicted freely, unbound to any expectations. The surrealism that was common in France at the time involved the ideas of automatism and Freud's theories of psychoanalysis of the subconscious, as seen in the works of Salvador Dali. These concepts did not align with Magritte's artistic ambitions in finding answers to the mystery of things in the world around us.
Un mystère. Nous sommes une partie du monde qui est un mystère lui-même. C'est une serrure sans clé, ou une clé sans serrure.
Unfortunately, he did not find the atmosphere of Paris as enjoyable as many other artists at the time and moved back to Brussels to start an advertising agency with his brother. This period of his life was pivotal in his works. His career in advertising helped hone his skills in making an image memorable, in making it stick. Here, in his most famous painting, he has stayed true to his artistic beliefs. We can see a man in an overcoat and a bowler hat standing tall, rather stiffly in front of a short wall. Behind him is a cloudy sky and a light blue body of water. There is some light reflecting off of the man's right side, indicating it might still be daytime. His face is largely covered by the hovering green apple, which seems incorrectly scaled, as it is almost as large as the man's face. The man's eyes can be seen peeking over the edges, a detail one would not notice right away, as the obstruction of the face blinds our minds into not analyzing it any further, accepting our first thought. As we gaze down, we can see that the man's left arm appears to be bent backwards at the elbow, as if he is facing away from us, looking at the water. We can only see the man's head and torso. His body seems stretched out, elongated to look taller than the average person. Magritte also uses colors here carefully to both blend in and stand out. The background, for example, is painted with cooler tones, the grays of the sky and the light blue of the water, giving the painting an ambiance of quiet. On the forefront, the bright red tie and the vibrant green of the apple stand out from the monotones of the background, and we can't help but look here, where he wants us to focus our attention.
Exactly. So those are complementary colors, the green and red, and that's why our eye goes directly there first, compared to the more neutral colors in the background, the grays and blues. So he's using color theory, and he's also using how he lays out his artwork to convey a message.
He has created a perfectly balanced canvas, managing our gaze. He has us in his control. The painting is perfectly balanced when it comes to lines as well. We can see horizontal lines dividing the background into 3 sections: the sky, the water, and the wall. The vertical lines break the horizontal lines of the composition. We can see
the threes are very important in artwork. Doing everything in threes is pleasing to the eye.
A line at the center of the subject where his coat buttons up, and 2 more between his torso and his arms. The apple and the bowler hat both take on the shape of a circle, further adding to the symmetry and balance Magritte has created here. Magritte's mind and creative thought process are fascinating. We can see this best here, a depiction of an artist working, looking at an egg and painting a bird. This is not a realistic representation of what he is using as a model, but instead it is key in interpreting Magritte's thought process, because the egg and the bird are unarguably connected. He highlights the limits of vision and instead allows us to see the secret life of objects, their potential. So why is this painting important at all? I think its value resides in what comes up in the mind of the viewer. When I was examining this painting before making this video, I stared at it for a while. I felt curious about the man's features, what his expression was, and how he was feeling, thinking I could connect more with the painting if only Magritte decided to show his face. Instead, his choices made me feel frustrated. I could never know what he looks like. That internal conflict, the not knowing, plays a vital role in why Magritte is important today. His power over us comes from the accessibility of his art. We don't need to know anything about art movements, his painting process, or personal philosophy to engage with his art. In that way, his pieces are more useful than many other artists of the time. He pushes us to unlearn, to let go of what we think should be, to instead make meaning on our own and follow our mind's infinite lines of questions.
All right. So he considered himself more of a philosopher than a surrealist painter. He really wanted his artwork to convey a message of why are we here, who are we, and he was considered a philosopher as well as an artist. So here's a few more of his paintings. We are going to play a quick little game, and we're going to guess which painting was done by which artist. So we're going to do that. Here's another example of where he likes to put objects in front of faces, so you're not connected to the portrait. You're almost isolated. You can't connect with them because you can't see their face. You don't know their facial expression. We also see the rule of thirds in the background and with the body. All right, here's some landscapes, which are very surrealism. He didn't like being called a surrealist artist. He liked to be called a philosopher, but art historians consider him a surrealist painter like Salvador Dali. Okay, we're going to play a game. Is it Magritte or is it Salvador Dali? So I want you to look at these two paintings. They are very similar. They're definitely done in the surrealist style. And I want you to think which artist painted which painting. Which one did Salvador Dali do and which one did Rene Magritte do? So I'm going to give everyone some time. Maybe whisper to your seat partner who you think did which. Who did the door and who did the rose. Alrighty, I'm going to give you the answer right now. Magritte did the door and Salvador Dali did the rose. So I think that's just a fun little game I wanted to show you guys. And now we're going to get started. I know that was kind of a long video, but I think it's very valuable. So I'm going to go ahead and get ready. Let's go ahead and get our pencil. Put it up in the air, and let's wave it like we just don't care. All right. So this painting is called The Son of Man, or The Man in the Bowler Hat. So I'm going to refer to it as The Man in the Bowler Hat. Let's go ahead and write our name. We are going to do a quick warm-up. So let's go ahead and write our name. And if you want, put your date. I think it's important to put the date. And the first thing I want you to think about is drawing lightly, not with a heavy hand, because we are going to be erasing lines. So let's go ahead and start with that. Let's go in the corner. Let's do one with pressure and then light pressure. Pressure and light pressure. We want to be using light pressure. I am going to move a little fast through the warm-up, but I think it's valuable to get our hand warmed up because we're going to do a lot of straight lines and a lot of circles. So get your hand ready. We're going to start at the tippy top, and we're going to do a straight vertical line. When we do a straight vertical line, I like to have my hand resting on the table, and I'm moving it. My hand is not off the table, it's resting on the table. And I'm just going to move my hand down, and I'm using a very light line. Not a lot of pressure, light pressure, not heavy pressure. Okie dokie, artichokes, what we need to do now is make a horizontal line. I know I'm moving fast, but this is just a warm-up to get your hand ready. And it's going to be 4 fingers. So let's go ahead and bring our 4 fingers. Here is my pointer. Here is where your pinky should be. And we're going to make a dot. That dot is going to indicate where our horizontal line goes, and it's going to be sketchy and light. We are cutting our canvases in different sections. It will help us make our man in the bowler hat very straight and centered. It's very important that he's centered. That's why this artwork is so impactful. It's because he's straight dab in the center of the artwork. All right, get 3 fingers. If you notice, my circle has 3 fingers of space on the side and 2 fingers of space on each side. And that is how we're going to know how large our circle is going to be. So get 3 phalanges, come up to the top, and put a dot. After you have that dot, that is 3 fingers, you're going to come on each side using 2 fingers and place a dot. That's going to help us with our circle. Now the key to drawing a circle is having your wrist straight, not bent, but straight. And we're using not our wrist, not our elbow, but we are using our shoulder. And I like to just kind of mimic where I'm going to put it. I haven't even touched pencil to paper yet. So I'm going to kind of visualize my circle, and I'm going to barely touch my paper. Very soft, very light pressure. And that's it. That is our warm-up. So get your circle in. I'm going to count to 3, and when I get to 3, we are going to flip our paper over. Okay, on the count of 3, 1, 2, and 3. If you didn't finish your circle, it's okay. We're going to get started. My paper is all dirty. Oops. Okay. Same thing, what we have here, we're going to put here again. Now that our hand is warmed up, now that we know what we need to do, this is the most vital point, is mapping out your artwork. You always want to map out your artwork. So make a light line, very light, very sketchy, light as a feather. Now we have 2 equal parts, and we have to divide it by fourths, or we're doing thirds. If you can see, we have 3 parts, just like he did in the video. Like Magritte. So get those 4 fingers, bring it over, place that dot, make that light, horizontal, sketchy line. I know we're doing it for a second time, but it's so important to get our hands warmed up. Alright, 3 fingers, come to the very top, just like we did before. We need all this room at the top for the bowler hat. Apples and bowler hats are Magritte's staples. A lot of artists like to draw the same thing over and over again, just like Salvador Dali did eggs and tigers and melting clocks over and over again in their artwork. Alright, get your 2 fingers, place it on each side, and then we're going to do our circle. Remember, visualize your circle. Go like this. Think about where your circle needs to be. Your hand needs to be down here, 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 at all these points. We're going to go very light, light as a feather. Doesn't have to be a perfect circle because we're going to erase it. Sorry, my paper is so dirty. Okay. Alrighty. Now we get to do the fun part. We get to draw the hat. So, as you can see, what we need to do is draw the brim of the hat. So get your finger, 1 finger, wave it in the air like you just don't care, and bring it right underneath the circle. So here's the top of the circle, come right underneath, and place a dot. Right here, right here. And we need to have the brim of the hat touch all the way to the end of the paper, all the way down to the corner. Just like this line is touching the end of the paper, same idea. Very sketchy, very light. We're getting a lot of mapping in today. So we have 1, 2, 3. We have 3 sections. Can you see that? Just like in the video. We talked about him spacing out his artwork. That's the rule of thirds. 1, 2, 3. The rule of thirds. Okay. I need you to make a mark here and here where the circle intersects or overlaps with our horizontal line. We're going to do an arch for the bowler hat. I'm going to pause right here in case anyone is falling behind. Take a breather. We need this line. And then our bowler hat. So in the 1960s and earlier, in Europe, a lot of men would wear bowler hats, like blue collar or white collar. People who were businessmen wore bowler hats, kind of like here in the United States in the 1950s, where we would wear a lot of fedoras. So it was just a symbolism of the middle class. It's a symbol. The bowler hat is a symbol. An iconic symbol. Okay. Are you ready? What we need to do is create this little C shape underneath, not above, but underneath. I'm dropping down. I'm dropping down. It's about the size of my thumb. It's about the size of my thumb. You can see it's about the size of my thumb. It's not above, it's underneath. And we are then going to draw a line all the way across, very light, very sketchy. Okay. Now that you have the brim of the hat, we are going to add a line that is 2 fingers long, starting right here, underneath this line, right here. So I'm going to come where the hat ends, bring my finger down, starting here, bringing it down, 2 fingers. These lines are 2 fingers. They kind of look like sideburns. 2 fingers long, about 2 fingers. It could be a little bit longer, but roughly 2 fingers. Okie dokie, what we're going to do now is round out the jaw. So straight down, straight line, round. Straight down, round. Rounding out the jaw. We need to add our ears, and our ears are the same shape as the hat. It's just right here. Add a nice little C. Two little curved lines, 2 arches for the ears. And as you can see where his collar is, it is a rectangle. And the rectangle is 4 fingers large, 4 fingers. So we are going to take our 4 fingers, bring them right underneath the chin, and we're going to make a dot on each side. These 2 dots are 4 fingers away. So put your hand right by his chin, use your 4 fingers, make 2 dots, and we're going to create this rectangle shape, which is 2 vertical lines. I'm going to pause right here so everyone can catch up, because I'm going to show you how to do the tie. The tie is slightly complicated, but not that complicated. You guys can do it. If we do run out of time, don't worry. We'll have time to at least get the apple going. And I will have this video up on Monday. Alrighty, so for the tie, we're going to start with 2 fingers. And then if you notice, the tie down here is 3 fingers because it's touching the edge of a rectangle. So we're going to start here where the X is a little small. So get 2 fingers, come here, put 2 dots. 2 dots right underneath his chin. 2 fingers, 2 dots. This is going to be the triangle for the tie. And in fact, we're going to do a giant X. We're going to have 2 diagonal lines that cross each other. So, watching me, let's just have your eyes on me. 1, 2, 3. Starting here, ending in the corner. Starting here, ending in the corner. Okay, your turn. Alright, if you notice at the shoulders, there are 2 fingers spaced to create that neck, okay? So we need to bring our 2 fingers right here and place a dot. And on the other side, what you do on one side, you do the other. This is a 2 finger gap right here and right here. Alrighty, let's add those shoulders. And we are finally done with our pencil. And we are, oh, no we're not. We need to draw the circle. So, I'm going to draw a green apple, but if you want to draw a red apple, I've had people draw mangoes. I've had people draw pineapple. If you want to do a different round fruit, that is fine, but make sure it is large. Look at it's 4 fingers, okay? It's only a 1 finger space on each side because it's covering the eyes, the nose, the mouth. It's large. And we're going to start right here at the tip or the top of the brim of the hat. So everyone, let's start here. Visualize your circle. Decide if you want to do a green apple like me. Decide if you want to do a pineapple or a different fruit. And let's go and draw that circle. It should be large, light as a feather, but large. Starting at the top of the brim of the hat, not underneath. It's covering the hat and the face. And now we're done with the pencil. We are going to start outlining with black oil pastel. Don't jump ahead. Stick with me because we're going to outline in a specific order. Don't worry about erasing lines yet. I will tell you when to erase what lines. Alrighty guys, you are doing such a good job sticking with me. So let's go ahead, get our black oil pastel. And the first thing we're going to do is create that stem. So I'm going to come up here and make a stem. Just like this. We're going to outline the circle. Don't worry about erasing it. We're going right over our pencil marks. We're going to create 2 leaves. You can do 1 leaf if you decide, but I'm going to make 2. So I'm just going to have you watch me for the first leaf, and then for the second leaf you can do it with me. So let's just watch Miss C. What we're going to do is do a curvy line, kind of like that. It's about 2 fingers. Once you have that curvy line, I want you to watch what I'm going to do. We're going to start at the bottom and curve out. So I'm starting at the bottom point and curving out, and then curving back in. Watching me one more time. Starting at the bottom, curving in and out like a point. So go ahead and make 2 leaves. Alright, and we're going to pause the black oil pastel. We're going to put that off to the side. And we're going to start with the apple because I want to be here with you to color in the apple. And we're going to need white. We're going to need yellow. And you're sticking with me. Don't jump ahead. Stay with me. Light green and dark green. These are the colors we're going to need for the apple. Alright, once you have those colors, find your yellow, and we need to make, oh, I'm skipping ahead. We need to erase. So before you start drawing, erase any of those pencil marks inside. And now we can draw our jelly bean for our highlight. We're going to come to this corner, and the jelly bean is about the size of my thumb. About the size of my thumb. And I did that with yellow. Let's go ahead and find our dark green. You're going to outline right on top of the black. We're going right on top of the black, blending. And we're going to have a little bit of dark green at the top, but I want you to kind of do like a crescent moon shape. And the bottom half is going to be a thicker line of dark green. Kind of like a crescent moon laying on its back. Just like this. Don't forget to blend in with the black. Go over the black line. It makes it a lot sharper and smoother. and it looks better. Your next color is going to be yellow. Alright, with the yellow, you're going to come around the jelly bean and towards the top of the apple, kind of like this. Mix it in with the dark green. Don't go inside the jelly bean. Keep that white and add some yellow. And then we're going to use our light green. Alright, with our light green, we're going to color in with the dark and the yellow, blending everything together, just like so. We are going to use white to kind of blend in that jelly bean highlight. So just add some some white, just like that. And voila, beautiful green apple. For the leaves, I like to do a pattern. Light, dark, light, dark. So I'm going to mark which ones I want dark. And I'm going to mark which ones I want light. So I'm going to just color in the leaves. Don't worry about the black. Let it blend in together. It looks good. Looking good. Oh, I'm so excited to see everyone's finished project. Alright, I like to use brown for the stem. And now our apple is complete. The apple itself has a lot of symbolism too, so I think he's intentional with using or choosing apple. When you're done with that, get your black oil pastel ready. And also get your eraser ready. We're going to outline the highlight in the hat. I'm going to encourage you to erase any lines inside your hat, like that vertical line. Clean up the hat, just like so. We're going to put the jelly bean in the same place, just like that, for the highlight. And now we're going to outline our bowler hat. Start with the brim. And before you color it in, make sure you erase any pencil marks. We'll color it in just a moment. I want you to outline your ears and the jaw. And we're erasing the line right here. Goodbye, sideburns. We can outline our rectangle and our tie. Erasing any pencil marks inside that. Out in the... and then our shoulders. I'll pause here so everyone can catch up. And now it's just coloring it in. For the background, what I am using is gray, light blue, and dark blue. For the tie, I'm using red. And for the skin tone, you can use peach, which is close to that pink color. Or you can use a brown, also a rusty yellow mixed with a brown gives a really nice skin tone. So if you use rusty brown, or rusty yellow and brown, it gives a cool texture too for skin. I'm going to use the peach color, but you don't have to use the peach color. It's your decision what skin tone your bowler hat man has. Don't worry if you get a little black blending in with the peach. or whatever color you're using. That's okay. It kind of creates a shadow. For the tie, we're going to use red. Now, say you drew an orange, you might want to think of complementary colors. Complementary color to orange is blue. So maybe if you drew an orange fruit, you might want to draw a blue tie. Or if you did grapes, the opposite of grapes, or the complementary color to grapes, is yellow. So think about your complementary colors. I'm going to show you what colors to use for the background. We're going to use a light blue, a dark blue, and a gray. Don't worry, we are going to color in the bowler hat and the sleeves, but that's pretty easy. I'm going to show you how to get this cool London fog look. It's a very European sky that he draws. It's very moody, and it's very, it makes the artwork pop really well. So I like to go in with light blue first. What color? Light blue first. And I'm just going to color in the area I'm starting with. And you could do it kind of lackadaisical, kind of light. You can leave a lot of white of the page. That is fine. Then you're going to go over it again, but this time with a dark blue. So the second color is a dark blue. I'm still being very lackadaisical. And then when you get to the gray, that's when we start blending. So you're going to be a little more mindful, a little more exact with your blending. Getting right up to the bowler hat, getting every little nook and cranny, covering all of the white of the page. Covering all the white of the page. And it creates this really nice blended look with the gray. You're all probably at different stages. Some of you might have already started on your bowler hat. Some of you might have finished the sky. I'm going to move my camera in just a moment in case anyone's ready to show off their artwork. So in just a few minutes, I will move my camera and we can look at everyone's art. I've been super impressed with my students. This is my first time teaching this lesson. A lot of my lessons I've had for a few years, and this one was a new one, so I was really excited to see how well everyone's bowler hat man turned out. So light blue, dark blue, and then blend with gray. Blending, blending, blending. Blending is key. Get right up to the face, get right up to the hat, every nook and cranny. Cover all of the white of the page. I like to use black and white, so I'm going to put white in that jelly bean and that highlight, but I like to use black first. So I like to go in with white and kind of blend that in. Kind of creates a little gray color, but that's okay. It looks more interesting that way. Okay. I'm going to move my camera. If you guys aren't ready yet, that's okay. Take your time. I'm just going to have my camera ready. I'm going to put on some music while we are enjoying coloring in our artwork. I think it's important to have music when you do art.
Me compré un auto, estaba manejando por mando, me encontré con un amigo que no conocía del barrio, hace años no nos veíamos, preguntamos cómo había sido para mí, haber vivido en otro país tan lejos, mirando el reflejo en el espejo, me doy cuenta soy el mismo, soy diferente,
Oh my goodness, we have some friends who are ready. Wow! So good. I like that the fruit is wearing a hat. Well, thank you so much. I'm going to wave goodbye. Goodbye.